Hey Nick, we need a tagline for the podcast.
No.
Real life opinions. Movie reviews told by fans and not critics.
Video store?
Yes, it's a video store.
Yes, but doesn't it need a rental store to be a video store?
No!
But
No. Because to be a rental store, it's a video rental store.
But nobody calls it a video rental store. They call it a video store.
And your point is what?
But then it's a video store. It's got to rent something.
So then, what would you classify my store as?
You're kind of a thrift store, to be honest.
No, to be a thrift store, you'd have to have junk.
Wait,
I
no,
mean-
no, that is like. Have you seen some of the games?
Okay. Let's
I'm having a hard time disputing this right now.
let's rephrase the thrift store thing for Corey. In order to be a thrift store, you'd have to have clothing. Please tell me you don't have that yet.
Do
No.
all thrift stores have clothing?
Have you been to the ones in Camrose? All of them?
Even Restore has clothing now.
Yes.
Of some sort, like jackets or something. It's in that room that used to have the electronics.
Yeah. And I fully feel that the Restore is a thrift store.
Well, yeah,
Just
the Restore is a thrift store.
Very high price.
They're getting better. They got a new guy now that seems to give a shit. So
That actually realized that you can't sell an open box of tiles for retail price.
yeah.
Good to know.
I've been in there a couple times here recently, and it's just been like, oh my god, these have come back down to earth.
No, he's a young guy. He's probably younger than me. Not by much if he is, but still, he introduced himself when I walked in. He seems really good.
So he's worked in a store before.
Yeah.
Wait,
Wow.
so guess like stating like he's a little bit younger than you makes him a young guy? Because, no offense, Corey, but, you're not really in a young demographic anymore.
Okay, but we can't insult him because we just told him that he was pretty and smart and he has self-care.
Man, you got self-care. Man,
Yeah.
like,
It's a curse.
head and shoulders, really.
Yeah.
Like,
2 in 1.
I buy like special conditioner and like feel that. That's like,
It feels like skin.
No, you're soft too, but
it's,
he
it's
feels more.
soft. Yes, but not like, this is for working out of why it's so soft.
He feels that more. His hair feels more like one of those chia pet.
No, it's softer than a chia pet. It looks like
Please
a
do not
chia
water
pet.
my hair.
Well, you know what? If we told everybody he was a chinchilla, then they might come and scalp him.
See, he does look
So-
like a chinchilla.
So chia.
I found Nazi scalps. So we're doing a movie today. I don't know if you know this.
Yeah, out of a thrift store.
Out
Out
of,
of a-
you know what?
No.
No, that's not. You are much more than a thrift store, Corey.
Can we just call him retro?
A retro store?
He's a retro store.
A new and used store? You don't sell anything new,
That
though.
still sounds like
That's
thrift.
not true. I got some new games.
Do you have some new games?
I have Mario Brothers for the Wii, like the red one
Is
for the
it-
Wii,
is
brand
it
new, still
in the
sealed.
okay.
Yeah.
Then it
No,
counts.
I don't care if it is new or not. If it's not sealed, it's not new.
Exactly.
So, but the Mario Brothers for the Wii came out 15 years ago.
but it's
Is
still
it that long?
Yes.
but
Holy
it's still
cow.
in the wrapper. That makes
Yeah,
it
it's
new.
still sealed.
It came out before me and the wife met.
Holy cow.
But that doesn't make it, just because it's in the wrapper.
It makes
like,
it brand new. It means it's never been played.
Yeah.
Yes.
Conditionally speaking.
It is brand
It's
new.
in brand new condition.
There.
But it's actually 15 years old.
Details.
Might actually be more than 15 years old.
Okay,
Really?
Those are like tiny details.
Yeah, whatever. So,
They're minuscule.
as Corey was trying to say, we're doing a movie tonight.
Yeah,
right?
who knew?
Yeah, it's like, I got deja vu. It's like we recorded this 3 days ago.
But they'll never know.
They'll never know.
Right, because Corey hit the delete button.
I didn't though.
I feel like we are technologically way more ahead than we were when we first started this thing, yet somehow or another, we're still further behind.
I mean, at this point, yes, we're technologically ahead, but human error still very much exists.
Like, we got our own laptop for this. We all have microphones. Each and every one of us has a microphone.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Laura
cool.
actually spikes the sound waves. I know. Yeah, look at that. That was you.
I know. I can see the computer.
Yeah.
So, Be Kind, Rewind, movie of the week, eh?
Movie of the week.
Pray tell, what caused the this choice?
I don't know, Jeff, what started this one?
Actually, Andrew wanted us to do this one because it was a video store movie, and he wanted to celebrate us opening with a video store movie.
Which, actually thinking about it, it's kind of perfect timing because November 10th would have been 14 years for the video store.
Wow.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like a real statistic.
It would have been 14 years.
14 years that was open?
That,
No,
well,
it
almost,
was
but yeah.
almost open 12 years when we closed down.
that means that movie gallery's been gone at 15.
Movie gallery has been on for 14 and a half.
14 and a half.
Blockbuster is 13.
Yeah.
The scars remind us that pain is real.
My heart
It does. So,
just to feel.
So it's actually kind of ironic. Like Corey's opened in November, technically 2 days after the video store would have, and at least you're still going.
I hope we can make it past a week. So.
Well, you're almost at 2.
No, yesterday or 2 days ago was only 1 week.
Yeah, that's why
So I guess 5 more days to be 2 weeks. But
It does not feel like you've only been open a week to like me and Laura.
that's because we've been here
Yeah.
since the end of October.
Yes.
So
We've been. I like to think we've been helping him, right?
We have.
100%.
I mean, we haven't. I don't know about you, but I haven't put my blood, sweat, or tears into this place. Yeah, you did, but that's expected. You don't count, Corey. It's yours.
Yeah.
We put a little bit of sweat equity into this place.
I ran away from the video camera.
You ran.
Does that count? Actually, I am going to put in sweat equity because I'm such a nice friend for Corey. And as he bats his eyelashes at me, yes, you're pretty. But I'm actually going to come to work for him.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like the good old days.
If you come in and I'm bawling, it's your fault. Just saying.
What time are you coming in tomorrow?
I'm going to be here. I start at 4:45 tomorrow.
4:45.
Yeah, but I'm coming in early so I can get a little bit of a crash course on this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I'll have to send.
are you
James.
going to be a tough customer tomorrow?
No, I'm gonna bring James in.
Oh, James is going to be. I still owe him that freaking Red Panda movie.
Turning Red?
Panda?
That's it. Yes.
Oh.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I know, but he wants the hard.
But we don't like streaming here, so.
Yeah, we're an anti-streaming company. Suck it, Disney. Suck it hard. Suck it long.
Topic for back. Yeah.
So we picked Be Kind, Rewind, eh? You said, Laura, that you hate Jack Black.
I despise
Does
Jack.
anybody actually like Jack Black anymore?
I like Jack Black.
I've never liked him, but the only movies, there's 3 that I liked him in. I liked him in both of the new Jumanjis, and I liked him in Gulliver's Travels.
I personally hated the second new Jumanji.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying when the first new Jumanji came out, like, that was the most fun you had in the theater in a really long time.
Oh, the first one was fantastic. Just the second one, the one that came out after it.
I don't feel like there was a huge drop-off between the 2 movies.
I don't know what. I think it's just for me, it got like long in the tooth,
It was a little repetitive.
and Aquafina is annoying as hell, and
I love this joke where the old storekeep, he goes away, he's given
Moss or Mose. Mose.
Jeff.
Yeah.
I can't remember the character name.
Him.
Him, yes. The main protagonist. I got protagonist right.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
There's an inside joke there, but
And Daddy
Oh,
Glover,
I know.
Daddy Glover's like writing, keep Jerry out, but he's writing it on his point of view, so it's mirrored to most Def, and he's just got all these writings Keep Jerry Out, but it's mirrored version. It's hilarious. And look at this camel that Jack Black has right here. I fucking love it. Like, it's
The
so...
fact that he just put shoe polish on his face and went and ran his face across the chain link fence.
Yeah, that's basically exactly what he did.
You're saying you haven't done that?
No,
Wow.
I have not.
So you live such a sheltered life.
Really, I've seen more movies than you do. Your deprived childhoods.
Do you think Jack Black is really wanted to do blackface? And then he's just kind of like, can I get away with it? No, I'm going to put little cross stitches. And then he actually does
it?
blackface.
I mean, he was in Tropic Thunder.
He
I
was,
was
but
trying to think if that came out before this.
It
No,
did.
did it?
Yes,
Did it?
but he did not play blackface in that one. That
No,
was
that was
Robert Downey
RDJ,
Jr.
yeah.
We're
So,
aware of this fact. That's a very well-known fact.
yeah, why are you trying to school us?
Not
You
everybody.
don't know
knows that one.
everything you know.
You know,
You get the dates wrong, so shush.
the listeners we get probably know that.
I wouldn't say that either.
Yeah. Wow, insulting the listeners, eh? Me and Corey do not condone the speeches of Lori Jacobs on this show.
Yeah, sorry, Lindsay.
Sorry, who?
Now, one of our 3 lone listeners.
I'm sure we had more than that by now.
Yeah, maybe 4.
I haven't looked at the numbers in a long time because I've been logged out, so.
You said.
So why is he okay in this one?
I never said he was okay in this one.
I thought you said you liked him in this one.
No, still don't even like him in this one. It's the movie itself that holds a place for me.
Huh. Well, that's fair. You know, I loved the old VHS. I love that. I think it totally brings me back to a different time. Like even prior to the Blockbuster and the video store, the old VHS tapes kicking around reminds me of like I'm sure Corey would have lived in a town where the convenience store had VHS movies. Do you live in a store like that?
Oh,
Or a town
yeah,
like that?
totally.
Even Calgary had those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that reminds me of almost, right?
In Humboldt, the movie theater had an attached video store.
Really.
Yeah.
I feel like that's taking hands or food out of your own mouth.
No, you get the new ones in the theater, and then when they reach video, you can sell them there, so it's double dipping.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's just adding profit to yourself.
You know what we should do? We should put a movie theater in here.
Yes.
Oh, he's got that big bay door where you can do drive-ins in the back.
Have you seen that back alley?
Yeah. It's about one car.
I can make it work. Never said that they had to be in vehicles.
Let's not try to be profitable or anything like that.
I've actually come to backing in now there because backing out when I was parked in was a nightmare because that stupid stump that's right there. So
Mhm.
just smiling odd.
There's a stump back there. Don't hit it.
That's good to know because I'm assuming I'm parking back there tomorrow.
You can park wherever you want, but there's like 2 vehicle spots to park in the front, so don't take them up.
So no, it's parking
Your
back.
front side parking is kind of rubbish.
It is ridiculous.
And that's why you should have shoveled both sides.
Yes.
Because your customers are going to go to the other side.
No, it just shows that I care about my property.
But it also shows that the potential parking of your customers you don't care about.
Not really.
Wow. Corey, if you want to make money, you have to give a shit. Just saying.
Yes.
This is probably so
He should be dead.
Jerry has just broken into the power plant in this movie. And this is the one lone scene that really bugs me in this movie. Like, if there's one thing that I don't like about it, the rest of this movie is so grounded, and then the electrical like lifts him up into the air. It looks
So how else would he be electrified enough to erase the tapes?
Okay, but when you're being shocked like that, you should
Have you
be dead.
seen Ernest Goes to Jail?
Yes, and he should be dead too.
but
Well, he is now.
Now, yes.
but Ernest is a different.
Oh, I know.
Like, there's rules that a movie needs. That the reality of that movie is set in, right?
All right, Randy Meeks.
Randy Beats.
Meeks.
Meeks.
Okay.
Is that from Scream?
Yeah.
Ah. Okay.
He's
Gotcha.
he's outlining the okay.
But there's a certain groundness certain movies will follow, right? The Ernest movies, it's established that they don't follow any sense of reality. So that's
no,
their
God, no.
reality, right?
Although Goes to Camp was pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, for reality wise,
Yeah.
better than Scared Stupid. It's the same
Hey!
Christmas, I guess. But
Don't mess with Scared Stupid.
And Saves Christmas is one of my must-watch Christmas movies.
Yes.
So
I used to be scared by Scared Stupid when I was a kid.
You-
That troll was fucking terrifying.
That you kill with milk.
Well, still.
I mean, have you seen Signs?
Oh my god. Signs is just a remake of Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yeah.
We're afraid of water. Meanwhile, you're coming towards a planet. Hey, look at all that blue. I wonder what that is.
It's 80% water. We better not go here.
Well, when you think about it that way, Lilo and Stitch is a remake of it too.
Are they afraid of water in Lilo Stitch? I don't remember that.
Stitches. He can't go in water because it messes with him.
Huh.
So what?
Stitch has
So,
a switch.
Yes.
kind of like how Jack Black's messing with the VHS right now.
Look how disorganized those movies
I don't know.
Like
Why is-
alphabetically and like neatly.
Back to the Future and Nutty Professor do
And-
not belong on the same.
I don't even care about the genre factor. I'm talking about the alphabet. I'm more.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Back to the Future and Nutty Professor, and
Yeah.
then on the other side, Lord of the Rings.
Who is that actress yelling at Jack Black? 'Cause she looks familiar, but I don't know from where. Corey, you're my encyclopedia of who these people are.
She does look familiar.
Yeah, she does look familiar. She kind of looks like what's her face from that '70s show, but it's not
Laura
her.
Prepon?
Is that how you say that last name?
I don't know.
I always thought
That's
it was
what I
like
thought.
Poppy.
Yeah.
Poppy wrong.
You say pre-pon and all. Corey literally sounds like he's saying, "Do you have any great pre-pon?"
Have any great coupon?
She looks like a modern day discount Sissy Spacek.
Yeah, except this movie came out 15 years ago.
I said modern day discount. I didn't say she was Sissy Spacek.
I'm saying it's not modern day. It's a decade and a half ago. It's not
guess.
modern day.
But Carrie was 76, so technically
Okay.
this is more modern day than Carrie.
Is it? I'm trying to do that math.
Maybe it's the daughter from Carrie.
Slightly. This movie's almost as old as Carrie was when this movie came out. Almost.
Jeff?
Yeah, fuck with your reality.
No, that's not what I was going to say. It's Thursday, which means it's almost the weekend. I don't want to math anymore.
This movie came out in '08, and so that was actually 16 years ago. And Carrie would have been 21 years at that time, so there's like a 5 years difference. But still,
He's still trying to make me math.
hey, I was doing the math for you.
You're making my brain hurt.
And even in 2008, who the fuck is riding in a train rail car anymore? Like, guys, it's not the 1920s.
My father-in-law, when he got into the bike accident, actually decided that he was leaving home and he was going to hop on a train and leave.
Really?
Yep.
How'd that go for him?
Well, my mother-in-law convinced him to stay.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But otherwise, he was just going to hop on a train and go.
I have heard stories of, I know a story where a guy jokingly jumped onto a train in BC, and he got trapped on the train till Ontario. It's just like, help. He was starved by the time he got off the train and had no money on him because, he just jokingly jumped in there. Yeah.
Well, that's what you get.
Yeah, it kind of serves you right. But I guess we should talk about the movie for a while.
We kind of sort of have.
Kind of, sort of have.
Kind of.
I still haven't figured out who she is.
I don't know.
Laura?
Laura, a Google person?
Yeah, Laura, you're the Google person. You're the all-knowing old Google.
Hang
Oh,
on, let me just connect to the internet. Since when did I become
I know who she is. it's bugging me now. That guy almost looks like Stephen King.
I know. Actually, I was kind of thinking that too.
Mia Bauer.
No, it's not Mia
Mia
Farrow.
Farrow? No, that is the older lady. That was just from
You're
before
looking
that.
for the younger one.
Yeah.
She'd probably just be considered like video store customer or something. But
Probably.
Yeah. But who really is the bad guy in this movie? Me and Corey were talking about it the other day.
The corporation.
Wait, but are they really that bad? They're just trying to revitalize the neighborhood.
And get rid of the junkyard across the street.
Well, they probably should have got rid of the junkyard across the street. I think the junkyard across the street might go once the condominiums get built, I'll be perfectly honest.
yeah, that can't do a lot for the resale value. So
No.
That was Heather Lawless.
Heather Lawless.
Next.
relation to Lucy?
Now you're asking her questions.
I know, I'm confident I've seen Heather Lawless in like a B movie. There any like good B movies she's
Like
in?
with Jerry Seinfeld?
No, not that kind of B movie.
The only ones that it's actually showing up for her is Be Kind Rewind showing up and The Campaign.
The Campaign?
I
That's
do
a fun movie.
That is
Okay,
definitely
there's
not
other
where I
ones.
know her from.
Rainbow Bridge, Big Mouth, Teenage Enthusiasm.
Euthanasia?
Yeah, that's it. First time female director, Dicktown.
Wow. Okay.
At Home with Amy is Sedaris, Frankenstein's Monster's Monster.
Frankenstein's Monster's Monster.
Yep.
Huh.
Comedy Bang Bang, Bev, Stone Quakers, Goth Ball.
We can just
These
She's been in
movies
a
are,
lot.
these
That
movies are getting
go to
worse.
her boat.
I don't. This mess of VHS here, it's like setting my ADHD.
No, I'll find it. Just give me a minute.
They've just like distributed all the fucking tapes all over this store. It is.
I know,
so
it's
kidding.
driving me absolutely
Oh,
nuts.
look.
No. Did you find it? No. What are we looking
Not related to Lucy Lawless.
at?
It actually.
That's the one trivia beat.
Which is funny because she does kind of look like her, so.
Does she?
Kind of.
I don't really see it. She looks more like Mia Farrow. Like, if you would have told me that she was Mia Farrow's daughter in this movie, that would have made sense. You know, hasn't this always happened to somebody? You accidentally magnetize yourself and then destroy your buddy's VHS rental store?
Or, you upload or go to upload a podcast and accidentally delete the whole thing.
Oh wait, Corey's done that a couple times.
It's definitely happened before. It happens. Same diff, right? They both happened in a video store.
I can't say that I've deleted a movie in a video store.
No?
No.
Well, Corey can say he's deleted a podcast.
Yes. We're not going to let you live it down. I mean, I'm kind of happy you did because, board meeting. But
Well, I did it for you.
thank you. See, it was on purpose.
Yes, it was totally
on purpose.
100% on purpose. Yes.
Wasn't me, screaming, fuck, when I got to work the next day.
Okay, this podcast is going to be infinitely longer than that one. And that would be like down to an hour.
I think it was like an hour 6, yeah. So
Yeah. We got the movie on in the background today because we didn't have the movie on in the background.
And Corey even came and picked it up.
Did he?
Yes.
I know.
yeah.
But we were like waiting and waiting and waiting, and then we were just like, it's 9:30. She's not here yet.
Did Corey not tell you the text that he got from me?
Which one?
No, you were supposed to wait for me.
You know when we got that one?
When he texted me after I told him that I had the board meeting, so just do it.
9:30 at night. That's
Well,
when we got that.
that's his fault.
How is that his fault?
Because, it's underlying text. Can somebody come pick up the movie? I have a board meeting. Means don't wait for me.
Oh. The magnetized P scene in this, we haven't hit it yet, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not how that works. That's not.
As I'm scratching my head, yeah. The fact that it was also radioactive
Yeah, and then it gets like went down the side of the road.
Right? And it just,
Oh.
yeah, that was definitely something.
Yeah, it's there's some stuff this movie does that's like a head scratcher, right?
It's just a few.
Let's say theoretically, let's say all the movies in Corey's store get deleted. Perish the thought.
Corey would kill me.
Are we going to record new movies?
Obviously.
That's the only solution I can think of.
Yes, I said, no, you guys were supposed to start without me.
And where does it say?
Yeah.
I didn't send the text to you. Yes, I did.
You're supposed to read between the lines?
Yes.
Like, yes, we have to note to self, audience, if you're ever working and doing anything with Laura, you have to read her mind.
Freaking women. Goddamn women.
Okay, well, you're not seeing it on this one. All you responded with, yep, I'll stop and grab it. Sorry, that was me responding about the Y cable. You're looking at personal text messages.
I want to get back to this movie for half a second.
That's weird, but okay.
Corey, what do you think of the DVD rental storage guy? Like,
what do you mean?
They could have totally made him the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
But he's just kind of like whatever, right? They totally could have set him up to be.
He's kind of not the victim, because they'd be the victim, but I was gonna say the victim of his surroundings. But he's the opportunist, but not in a negative way. So
I feel like he's Roger was to you kind of thing. What I feel like.
Danny Glover's character, very much so.
Yeah, like the DVD rental store guys is kind of like, hey, you're competition, but we're still a family, right?
Oh yeah, and I say that to everybody. Like everybody talks about the video store like it was the only video store in this town, like ever. It's quite funny, like when they come in, and I mean, a lot of these people probably were too young to remember.
It was the last video store we had for the last 10 years.
they probably too young to remember the Blockbusters, the movie galleries.
There was 10 years where it was the only video store in town.
Yeah,
10 years.
But
that's a long time.
It's funny, even with that, because even at the video store, we'd have people come in and, you still have the video store, and it'd be like, well, no, yeah, we do now, but we had Movie Gallery, we had Blockbuster, we had VHQ, we had.
But you guys wouldn't remember Video Spot. I used to love Video Spot.
I didn't live in Camrose at that time.
I know you did. That's why you guys wouldn't know about Video Spot was not quite like the store here in Be Kind Rewind, but like there was some similarities. Like it was a very mom and pop shop, and the organization was kind of haphazard, and the old one single VHS, and if that one was out, that's all you get.
With a little clip on it that said "Sorry, rented" or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was gonna say, no, the reason I was bringing up about people coming in and saying stuff like that is I get a lot of people who say it's like, oh yeah, I miss Roger and all this stuff. I said, yeah, no, I said we were all close. I said we were on opposite sides of the fence, but we were a family.
And it was.
And they all came. You came to support me, obviously. Yeah. Besides the stuff you did beforehand, and then Dave came day one, and then Roger came day two, and so.
But it wasn't uncommon either. Like when Blockbuster was there, if you guys didn't have a movie, all of a sudden I'd get, well, Corey sent me over here. If we didn't have the movie, he'd be like, go see Corey.
When did Blockbuster not have the movie they were looking for?
Every so often.
Yeah.
Like
weekends.
Yeah, generally on weekends, and that was very much when we were first starting up. But Corey helped in his way by sending him over to us. He helped actually launch the store.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know Roger bought a lot of my clearance, quote unquote clearance movies to fill his stock,
which I had to put into the system.
Yeah.
And tag and.
I honestly, I don't think I went to the video store until after Blockbuster was closed, right?
A lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't as a customer, but I still went. So
Yeah.
I feel like the best thing that could have ever happened to the video store was Blockbuster closing.
well, obviously.
Yeah.
But you know, even then, even with Blockbuster, if they had stayed going, it would have been like having a movie gallery in town. Each have their set customers that prefer a certain store.
Mhm.
Yeah, you guys definitely had your following. I definitely had my following. And like I actually had someone the other day say it's like, oh, I remember when you did your movie reviews for the newspaper. I'm like, yeah, that's been a hot minute. So
Well,
You should be like, now I do it on the internet now.
yeah,
and you know what's
I probably
funny?
did actually.
What's funny about that too is, you know, everybody comes in, they say that they remember you, but they don't generally remember why. Like, it can't be. It's not always from a certain place,
Oh, I get that all the time.
right?
You
I
look
know
familiar.
you.
Did you work at no like list? I have had 3 people so far saying, "Did you worked at the video store, right?" I'm like, "Nope."
Yep. I've had. Well, you worked with Corey, right?
Yeah, I had somebody say I worked with Dave before. I'm like, "Nope." I said I worked with Brad for like 10 seconds, but
But yeah, never. Corey and I have never worked together. Even tomorrow, I'm not working with. Oh, shit, that's weird. I'm not working with him, but I'm kind of sort of working for him.
Side note, I really appreciate Nick coming down. I don't know if you sent him to do that, but
Do what?
he actually came down and said, if you need anybody or blah blah, if you're hiring, and it's like I can help out. I said, well, I don't have a job to speak of, but if I do need anything ever, I can I call you? He's like, yes. I said, thank you.
Well, me and Nicholas have had some. We've had some talks about working and everything like that. He has had his struggles getting a job. I don't know if I have ever aired my frustrations over that over the air.
Not over the air. We've got that one off there.
Yeah, there's. I feel right now he is on the right track. The problem now is there's lack of employment right now. There's a serious lack of jobs out there right now. But it took him, all summer. He fretted and wasted opportunities. And, now I think he realizes now, oh my Lanta, I have wasted a bunch of runway. That's what happens. You've got this chance to be at home and make some money and not have bills. And
Right. Now, and and granted with them too, like, they're young enough. I give them a lot of slack on that one because they're young. They're fresh out of high school. They're not realizing a lot of it. It's a lot different now than like when we were teenagers.
what age were you guys when you guys were working?
When I had my first job, I was 11,
Well, when was it you were working permanent?
13.
So you'd worked since 13, you haven't quit?
I have not quit.
I have had, my first job was like 10, but my consistent work, like full-time work was 16. That was when I got my first full-time job. But I guess it was semi-full-time because it was like,
You still had
it
to
was
balance school.
30 hours a week, I think, while going to school.
Yeah.
I think 16 for me too. I delivered flyers when I lived in Saskatoon. Then I delivered the Edmonton Journal when I lived in Lloydminster. But
Those count as jobs, but those aren't full-time jobs.
yeah. But when I was 16 is when I started at Superstore, and that was my official first. Because I worked there grade 16 years old, so grade 10 or 11. I think it was 11. And then worked there all through grade 11, worked all through grade 12. And then after I graduated, I moved to Edmonton, and I remember because I got a shirt signed by every department manager saying good luck in the future, thank you for everything, and blah, blah, blah. Because I was just general services, like the cleaner guy. But the managers were like, yeah, go in my office and grab keys, you can get it yourself.
Hey, Danny's listening. I have heard so many good things about people that have worked at Superstore in their youth.
Yep.
Like I've heard that's an amazing place. A friend of mine, Danny, he's been working there for 15 years, and I don't think he'd ever admit it, but that's a good place. He's like, oh, this place. I'm like, well, dude, you've been there a decade and a half.
Yeah.
Like, it can't be that bad
And you know
if you've been there that time.
And all of us have a mutual friend whose son worked there all throughout high school.
Mm-hmm.
I have tenants who work there and love it.
Mm-hmm.
So Superstore is the place, honestly, to send teams.
And Steven applied there like 3 times, and not even an interview.
Yeah.
They might not have been hiring at that time.
No. They were posting that they were hiring. So
I don't know.
yeah, weird. Steven needs a job.
I don't know when, like what age they hire at either.
Steven might be too young. That might be the problem, right?
Well, he's 16 now.
So have him
Oh, he's 16
reapply.
now.
Yeah.
He should be hired.
Yeah. So I would
Maybe.
have him reapply.
Maybe.
Maybe. What happened to his job?
McDonald's?
Yeah.
He, after getting bullied for a full year, he decided, yeah, no, I'm enough of that.
And he didn't call corporation.
Oh, he did. He
Okay.
wrote a letter and everything. So
Good.
Oh my God, there's 8 seconds of the background. Oh, it's gone. I love that movie though.
The Mask.
Oh, 8 seconds, right. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I saw it. Huh, well, there goes that car. You probably shouldn't have let the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man roasting on your car.
Probably not. With a bunch of cardboard.
I remember back in the day, I couldn't stand Luke Perry, just mainly because of Beverly Hills was just not my scene. And so when 8 Seconds came out, I'm like, yay, they killed him. And then when he actually died for real, Luke Perry, I was like,
That
oh,
was sad.
I would say that's really sad. Like, I really liked him in Riverdale, and he's not like Buffy. He was fun in, things like that. But yeah, so it was pretty sad when he went. So I felt kind of bad for saying those things back in the day. So
Do you know who his son is? Jack Perry?
No.
no,
He's an AEW wrestler. He's really fucking good. Like, I know you're not into the wrestling, Laura, but like I feel like Corey would love the kind of stuff he does.
As stupid as it is, I used to watch wrestling.
Well, there was a time frame where wrestling was like the biggest thing.
I would say at some point, I think everybody used to watch wrestling. So
Well,
Like when Hulk Hogan was at it, everyone watched. And then when Stone Cold Steve Austin came, even more people watched.
yeah, Stone Cold and Undertaker.
Yeah. I remember sitting there. My dad's not a wrestling fan, but even he was turning on to watch Stone Cold Steve Austin, right?
Because he was an asshole.
he was anti-establishment, and that was
Yeah.
huge. So
It was probably some of the best character work on any TV show. Like, when you think about it, that's an asinine thing to say, but like that character and like his role, it was probably like one of the most dynamic characters on TV. Granted, like the writing wasn't that great, but like when you think about it deep down, that was a revolutionary character for its time.
So, random question, and yes, I'm drawing back to the movie, and it's still later down the line. FBI comes in and says you're copyrighting the movie, blah, 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 blah. Is it a copyright if they don't use the same
Yes.
sentences?
there was an argument because the satire law allows you to satire something.
I don't know if the satire law was in when this.
That was when I said that, I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
So
'Cause that was like when YouTube was very big, when satire really kind of got.
yeah. Well, Weird Al never had to get permission to do those songs,
But I always did.
but he always did.
Yeah.
And the only person that ever said no to him and he did it anyway was Coolio.
Yes.
No, Coolio didn't not give him permission.
I thought it was Michael Jackson.
Oh no, Michael Jackson loved him.
There was a song that Michael Jackson denied, but it was cut. I think it was Black and White. Michael Jackson denied Black and White.
Maybe. Yeah.
So Coolio gave him permission, and then Coolio negated on the permission. That's what happened there. So Coolio was fucking pissed when he heard Amish Paradise. Was just pissed, but he gave permission.
That song was hilarious.
It's better than the original.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? That
Although Dangerous Minds was huge when it came out, so
you know what's funny about Coolio being pissed about Amish Paradise? Gangster Paradise is based off of Pastime Paradise by Stevie Wonder.
Yep.
So, like, he was knocking off a fucking song.
You copied the song I copied.
But the only reason I bring that up and I ask that is, so it's like going and doing it on Broadway.
Well, I think you got to pay certain royalties, though. Like, what's that big one? They're making a movie about a Wicked.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's some royalties involved.
Isn't Wicked based off of like the Wizard of Oz?
Yes,
Okay.
but they
But
would
the
have.
movie people won't get royalties. The estate of L. Frank Baum will get the royalties.
Yeah.
Well, you don't think MGM Graham would get?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Because they have got the rights to.
Did you ever hear
But the rights
that?
are only valid for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, that's hence why all the live action Disney's coming out.
They still have those rights, though. Like,
Maybe.
It's a big contention.
Maybe.
Disney's been trying to get the rights to Wizard of Oz for like years, but
And I really hope
because
they never get it.
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
will eventually, but because of the laws that they like lobbied for like Mickey Mouse, is like the reason they can't touch Wizard of Oz for all those years.
Did you ever hear Eminem did a diss track on Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson did not say anything in return, did not respond on social media, everything like that, but he bought Eminem's discography, and every time Eminem made a song, Michael Jackson got paid.
I did hear about that. I think he felt bad. Oh, what did she do again to make him feel better here? Was it hit him in the head, right? That's what she did?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
This is the stomach growling. This is the scene I was talking about earlier.
Oh, yes, because he ate
he
the
took
whole
all the
bottle.
pills. Yeah. Shouldn't have taken all the Advil. You're not going to die. You're gonna be fine. Oh.
Yeah, that's too bad.
I'm really thankful as a person who works in the sanitary waste that he didn't actually pee in the toilet. Because could you imagine what that would do?
He'd melt the toilet.
There's, I guarantee this is cast iron in this old building.
Hey.
So when he peed, it would collapse the sewer pipes.
Yes. Oh, he could come pee in my building, so they'd have to redo the pipes.
Your building is probably
They're
not.
cast iron.
What?
Yep,
They should not be.
they are.
Not the age of your building.
They're cast iron.
How old's your building?
1975.
Your building is too new to have cast iron.
They're all
sewer
cast
pipe.
iron.
I feel like that is wrong.
Nope, they're cast iron, and I know this because I'm the one having to have them changed.
Like,
And I put my finger through a few of them.
have you really?
Yes.
In the units, you have cast iron piping.
So no, our stack pipes. So like the
Okay.
sewer pipe and the main stack pipes are all cast iron stuff.
They're not copper.
Nope.
That thing should be too new for them.
I know.
And at least your in-ground pipe won't be cast anymore.
The in-ground won't be, no, but the main building, like structural, they're cast iron. Minus the ones that we've switched out.
How are these people not noticing that those aren't the original movies?
Well, they actually came in and told them that this one, they like this one, so they want other ones. And then they
I don't think that started with that gang, though. It didn't start with Joe Blow customer.
No, it started with the gang. Well,
Yeah, the gang. I think the gang realized, but I don't think that guy realized.
It's
not
fine.
until after, and then he's like, I loved it, I want this one.
It really became a thing, right?
Yes.
It reminds me of the community you guys talk about, like how everyone comes together for this little store.
Right, and that's just what it is. So we say that we're a community. We're working in the stores. You become, it's essentially a family, but
An establishment.
it's not an establishment, kind of, but it's the community that makes it all work. It's always the community that makes it work. They're the ones who try to save you when they find out that you're going out under. They're the ones who rally to try and save you.
So every few years, I'm just going to say I'm closing, and then be like, just kidding, and then
Okay, they're going to stop believing you.
That does happen.
never cry wolf.
You never cry wolf about closing down. If you had had the chance, Corey, would you have bought the video store?
Probably.
So honestly, if I had had the money to do it,
Yeah.
I would have bought it.
I think even if like you, me, and Dave got together, I don't know if Roger would still want, or if he would be
Oh,
heartbroken.
he'd want to be there for a candy.
I think it's funny because he did offer to do it, and I'm like, no, I don't need anybody, and then I got you to do it.
Right, but the thing on
Well,
that one too.
it's a different arrangement.
It
Yeah.
is. And the thing on that one too is I would call Roger and be like, what do you think about this one? And then of course I'd get the, what are you doing? Nothing.
I was looking at my item sales today from the 12th today. I've sold exactly 100 pieces of candy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Is that including the 15 I brought in?
You brought
No.
in candy?
Yeah, I brought in candy.
No, because that would have been under custom. So
Ah, okay. Yeah, I brought in 15 pieces of candy and it sold in one day. Not saying that I bring in better candy than
well, see, and you had said about well, what we could have marked it up, whatever, but I think it's sold because of the price and because I hyped it up. I'm like, hey, this stuff might have just been past the date, but it's still fine. It's candy. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll take it. Or the stuff, oh, it's almost there, but blah, blah. Oh, okay, I'll take it. So I sales pitched it.
As
So
stupid as it is, when your candy's about to go out of date or it is outdated,
hype it up.
no, don't even have to hype it up. Mark the price down, throw it up on the counter. It goes like that.
Yeah, that is what happens.
I did today mark down some of my candy, my ones that haven't sold, like my Jelly Bellies,
I'm surprised those ones haven't.
like not a one.
I'm surprised.
I marked them down to 350 from 5. That one's the strongest one. My theater boxes I dropped from 4 to 3, and then those because of kind of our conversation, that sucker powder stuff there, I dropped to $1.50.
Oh, wow.
So, well, they were only 2
You
before.
mean the Fundex?
No, the other ones, the ones on the right side.
Oh, the ones that nobody... See, my theory is maybe nobody can see those.
Were those the Jelly Bellies you were talking about, or was it... Really? Yeah, that was...
So those are the only ones I marked down, but they were my non-sellers. So I think I sold one of those sucker things, no Jelly Bellies, and no theater boxes. So
It's weird, but then again, you're catering to the junior high.
well, yeah, about that.
There hasn't been any junior high kids yet?
I don't think, in like the conversation we had, I don't think they're allowed to leave the school at lunch.
Grade 6s aren't, but 7 and 8s are supposed to be allowed to.
Okay, because nobody walks, like it's not just me, nobody walks by at lunchtime.
Me and Corey were both wondering whether or not it's a new rule.
Yeah.
It could be.
You know who would know?
James.
Heather House.
You
Yeah.
call her.
I'm not calling her right now.
But the 3:30 crowd is minimal too because so many of them take the bus. I have had a couple, but they'd come with their parents who pick them up type thing. But the kids that walk by don't even stop.
So, have you thought about getting like a sandwich board?
One right there.
You mean those two?
I haven't paid attention to what's behind me. Yeah, so like, get those out there.
My signs will be ready by probably Monday.
Because that'll probably help you.
Yeah. Oh, and Dana at CJ Sign Shop, shout out. She's awesome. I told her, I wanted an arrow and blah, blah, blah. So she made the sign, and instead of like just a regular arrow, it's Pac-Man, ... and then arrow. And that was all on her own. I did not.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic, actually. So, like I said, shout out to her. She's pretty awesome. So, oh, yeah.
What you doing?
It's fine.
Showing you guys anyway.
You're going to show us? Oh. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
That's
Anyway,
pretty awesome.
But yeah, so it's what I described. It's the little Pac-Man, the 2 dots, the arrow.
For those listening at home, you're just going to have to imagine it.
Well, or you could, come by and see it. I'm hoping, I don't know who I can talk to and buy a lot to see if I can get away with those sandwich boards. So
Talk to City Hall.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be able to use it?
I don't know.
You should be able to put them out on Even
Cars
your
puts them
dad.
everywhere. So.
Yeah. The farmer's market has them everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like in some cases, like I know Reese Road stuff, they usually pull them at the end of the day, though.
Yes.
Yes, you should
So,
pull them every day.
Yeah.
That's more of a vandalizing thing, right?
Well, the ones downtown, I don't think ever get taken. Like the one with Carmen and the one with the other one there, the one on 50th and 50th there. I don't think those ever get moved.
I've seen them picked up.
Okay.
I love how Danny Glover's just going through the video stores trying to figure out how to make more money. And like, one of his thing is, have 1 million of the same movie.
Right? More copies.
More copies, same movie. I don't know if that was a smart business plan or not.
Is that the breakup and over the hedge?
Yes.
Right there is the
That's the
breakup.
breakup.
Yeah,
The breakup and over the hedge on the other side.
And there's like 5,000 copies of them.
I think that's
Right
Ice
next to
Age.
Click.
And then there's The Omen and High School Confidential.
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing RoboCop right now.
Oh, this was a gooder.
I love RoboCop. I will do robot priority. Best movie in this movie, guys, which me and Corey talked about. It's for me, RoboCop. Laura, best movie in this movie?
Considering I don't remember how many.
How about we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you.
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour?
Mm-hmm.
Rush Hour is pretty good when they use the
The car badge.
Yeah, car badge. Be like, oh! It actually does turn out pretty good.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with Ghostbusters.
You're still sticking with Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
The thing about Ghostbusters is that that's how he burns down his cars through Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
Because he
that's
lights the
funny.
fucking marshmallows on fire.
Well, they like the marshmallow on fire in the movie too.
Yes, but not on top of the car.
But on top of the car was the city.
Yeah. I do not think a word of mouth would have got around this fast as what's happening in this movie. They're just like standing here. They've only made 3 movies, and there's a lineup of like 30 people.
And let's be honest, nobody returns their movies.
No! There's like no way that...
See,
who would have told them? There's been like 2 movies.
he says it. He goes, not the original, really short, but I loved it, and I told all my friends to come here.
He doesn't have that many friends.
Exactly. Look at that guy. There's no way he's got that many friends.
Face
Oh.
off. Rips at Pleasantville.
That makes sense. Oh, and this is where they develop the term Sweden, eh?
Yes.
I kind of love the idea of it being Sweden. Like, should we Swede some movies? Or do you think the FBI are going to come down on us?
Well,
Gotta catch me first.
okay, we can do it because the FBI does not have jurisdiction in Canada.
This is true.
And let's be honest, the judicial system in Canada.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Though there is a family in Ontario a couple of years ago, were actually taken to court by the FBI and had to pay the $250,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. What was it? Pirating or what was
It
it?
was pirating. They got him on pirating.
Do you guys remember like what was it called? It was like black market VHS tapes. You guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Where like it'd be some sort of knockoff,
Yeah.
Yep.
and that's what you would get, right? That was like
Patch
a whole
Adams.
market. Oh, she's so sweet about asking for driving Miss Daisy, and he's just kind of like Jack Black and playing girls.
And his crow's feet.
I like how he actually painted the dots in his face because Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I like the Danny Glover version of this movie that they make better, and I feel like Danny Glover got passed up for driving Miss Daisy. That's why he was just like, we have to put driving Miss Daisy in because those fuckers passed on me for this role and it should have been mine.
Jack Black in the dress and his underwear.
Yeah, like they didn't need to put that slit in there. Like, you cover up a little bit. I don't remember Miss Daisy being like.
So granted that,
I mean, it was Jessica Tandy. She was like this big. So
okay, but granted you that shirt that he's wearing as a dress is a tunic shirt, so you're supposed to wear leggings.
A tunic shirt?
It's called a tunic shirt.
You know, when I think of a tunic, I think of something else.
So do most people.
So, where does the term tunic shirt come from?
The idea of a tunic.
Tunisia?
You're right, yeah.
Okay. Finally blows up in Jack Black. Then the recording on VHS. So, like, you can't. The age of digital, we're so spoiled nowadays. How like we can just erase and edit stuff, but like back in the physical VHS, oh my god! Like what a fucking horror show when you had to re-record stuff.
Well, looking back, I think we were first starting out, and we were talking about how like the Blu-ray cut of the movie really showed how bad the special effects were. I think that was Gremlins too, because there's so much green screen in that.
There was a lot of green screen.
And we were like, when you watch it on VHS or you watch it on even on DVD, you don't really notice it because overall the picture is kind of cloudy or whatever you want to call it.
It's filmed in that way that it kind of blends in.
Yeah,
right?
but then you watch it with crisp, high definition lines, and you're like, "Fuck, this is awful." It's like that Family Guy episode, right, where they're all in love with the new newscaster on the TV there, and then they got an HD TV, and she looked like a head.
Yeah. Oh, but I think we're ready for a quick commercial break, guys. What do you guys think?
Yes.
See ya.
What?
And we're back.
But were we ever gone? You'll never know.
We'll never know. So we got to talk about what a terrible businessman Danny Glover is in this thing. He comes back. His employee has a lineup of people coming into your video store, and he's just like, "I've figured out how to save the store. We're gonna get DVDs and a bunch of copies of them." Well, you don't want us to continue doing what we're doing that's making us a lot of money? No, that's a terrible idea. I've come up with my new plan. Like,
in all fairness, he was right. They wouldn't have got shut down if they listened to
if
him.
he'd started doing DVDs?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Yes, but, I think, yes. Actually, you're right. So maybe he did make the right decision, and then he negated and made the wrong decision.
Interestingly, I believe, don't quote me, but I believe I bought my first DVD player in 2002, and my first movie, you'll never guess, Rat Race.
Rat Race, really?
Yeah.
Huh. I am aware of your fondness of Rat Race, so it's not shocking.
It was also right there when I bought my DVD player, so...
Does it count that my first DVD player was a PS2? I feel like that's why a lot of people bought
They were
PS2.
DVD players?
Yeah.
That was like the big selling feature.
I don't remember that. Which makes sense because, of course, the PS3 was the Blu-ray player, right?
Yeah.
As I'm looking at it, funny. Yes.
There was, so like DVD players were like $400.
I don't think I ever played DVDs on mine.
Yeah.
They were like $400 a pop for like a DVD player at the time. And you could get a PS2 for like $299. So it was just like, I'm going to get a fucking video game console and play some Tony Hawk and the DVD player. No, they weren't great DVD players, but they were DVD players nonetheless.
Which is funny because the PS3 was the best Blu-ray player on the market.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I was unaware of that fact.
And it's funny because their menu screen within the player is the same menu screen they use in their actual Blu-ray players now.
Yeah.
So, except for this one. This is like their value version because I'm cheap. And
Can you get a higher priced one anymore?
yeah, there's I wanted to look. Did I ever tell you my whole reason wanting to get an LG one?
No.
So I've got my Sony here because the Sony TV, so I only need one remote. I have an LG TV out there. I wanted to get an LG Blu-ray player for the same logic.
That makes sense.
Right. An LG Blu-ray player starts at like 180, and there was some for like up to $400.
Like, don't they realize that it's 2024?
Yeah. You know how much that thing cost me?
$50?
Well, not quite, but $80.
So, now, for the LG ones, are they just Blu-ray or were they 4K?
I think they were just Blu-ray. Actually, that's true. My 4K, because I have a Panasonic 4K, it was probably pushing 3. So.
Do you remember the day back when a person would pay like $1,000 for a fucking DVD player?
I bought a plasma TV from AVU
Oh, wow.
back in the day. I paid fucking like $3,000 for it, and it was only a 42-inch.
Oh my God, I saw the most heartbreaking thing. Just because you reminded me when you said AVU. I was at West Edmonton Mall recently. Sunset Records is closed down.
What?
Are you sure it didn't just move? Because it did move.
Well,
Are you talking about like by the big HMV area?
yeah.
Oh,
the
it's
old,
moved.
The
It's
old
still there.
HMV.
It's still there.
I heard it was still there somewhere, but I'm just like, it broke my heart that the big HMV
Oh yeah.
closed down.
It's like this big, but it's still there. So.
Well, I'm glad they're holding on at least.
Oh yeah. No, the boys love that store. So.
Well, it's an amazing store.
So, Corey, I'm going right back to the beginning. We kind of have to give Jeff the thrift store thing. Just because of his sign. Videos and thrift store.
Yeah, because of Danny Glover's sign.
But
Yeah.
videos and thrift store, that establishes that they're two separate entities.
Right, but I haven't seen anything in there that describes it as thrift. So, it's just
But no,
videos.
he does have some thrift stuff in there.
I don't see it.
That's where the video, that's where the camcorder came from. The VHS camcorder.
That is an old ass
It
camcorder.
was an old ass camcorder at the time of this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love how they're making this movie. I mean, I was going to call it a fake movie, but it's like a fake story in the movie about Fats Waller living in this location. It's kind of almost feels wrong, right?
Well,
The community, you know, is this the part that really gets to you, Laura? The community has really rallied behind this video story.
so it's not this part that gets to me, it's the final day.
The final day.
The final day is
It,
the one that gets to me.
it wasn't when the whole community started filming the movies together?
No.
When they started sweeting together?
No, it was the final day when they all go in. They're going in to watch their movie,
Mm-hmm.
and the one actress, I can't remember her name, the older one.
Oh my God, look at the blackface.
Yeah. But you know, it's that point when she goes to pay him to watch the movie, and he goes, "You don't have to pay for it. We'll take a donation, but we can't save the store. They're already here to knock it down." That's the part that gets me.
Yeah. Well, and then the big crowd outside too. Like the store is totally full. The DVD store guy comes, saves the day, sort of. Brings the overhead camera.
And the sheet, and everybody's watching it, but yeah, it's even everybody outside. But that's the part that gets me.
How do the construction workers still tear it down? Who the fuck is sitting there at midnight to tear down a fucking building?
That's some serious overtime right there.
Like, I've done some construction work, and you know what? Generally, at like, if you're still out there at 1 o'clock in the morning, it's because there's something's fucked up. Okay? Not because you're there for a demolition that could happen at any fucking time.
Haven't you ever noticed in any movie when they go to do a demolition, it's like you got till midnight, and at midnight the wrecking ball's coming in.
It's not metaphorical.
Yeah, right at midnight. They're super inventive in this, in their filmmaking in this. I talked about it on the other deleted copy of this.
It's a boy.
Me and our dear friend Mike Hicks had a conversation about creativity and money in movies and everything like that. And you know, this is the kind of movie that demonstrates his point that he makes, where it's not necessarily about the money when you can get the creativity, right? Like the whole premise of this show is based on they don't have any money. They're just making this shit with what they have and a passion, right?
Yep.
Like they're using garbage pieces. They recycle so much stuff from this movie, right? And they just there's so many creative shots they use to make their movie. Like they use the fan and the strings, and they use weird perspectives when doing the horns out of the piano. They steal a fucking rail train. We talked about the Men in Black scene, Corey.
Yeah,
When they used,
that was so creative.
That was so creative. The Rush Hour 2. The creativity they did to recreate that stuff.
Was it Rush Hour 2 or just?
It was Rush Hour 2.
Oh yeah, the bamboo. Yeah.
Yeah, the bamboo and they're falling on the car mat.
And spinning around in a circle on it.
Here's my one issue with this, or not my one issue, but like the creativity here. Where the fuck did they get a crate? Or a trackle?
I remember you getting into this last time.
The construction workers that are coming to knock the place down.
Oh, so they stole the construction workers' trackle.
They stole a train.
They did steal a train, but that was from the junkyard. And I love how everybody's busting out like it's fucking probation. Oh, look, she's just going on a high-speed chase with the trackle. I don't know if you guys have ever drove a trackle, but it is not a high-speed chase. Let me fucking tell you. It is a low-speed chase.
That would be like driving a tank down Main Street.
Tanks are designed to go faster than a trackle.
Now?
Tanks have always been designed to go faster.
Okay, but if you don't know how to drive it, how fast do you think you're going to go?
Well, like, you don't know how to drive a tank?
No, I've never stolen
What
a
are you
tank to
missing
drive
out
it.
on? Holy
You know
man.
what? I would like to think that I would know how to drive a tank. But I have driven I've driven a large variety of equipment in my day. I would hazard a guess that I've drove more pieces of equipment than the two of you combined. I would say probably pretty handily.
Add some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably say you two combined plus triple that, probably.
Look, Busty Beauties.
Thanks.
See, the video store DVD guy should totally be the bad guy here. Because these guys are kind of like, they busted into his store, are trying to steal his thing, and he's just going to let them walk away. Like, he doesn't need to be the good guy here. He could, like, be an asshole to them.
But in his own rights too, like, you know, he's willing to let him go because
Scream 2, Scream 3, Seed of Chucky, The Shining. That's the only ones I could recognize.
I was looking at Resident Evil, RoboCop, I think I saw The Howling.
so what I was saying here is like you find out at this point too that the owner of that video store is losing his shirt. He's sleeping in the porn section. Like,
Was he sleeping in there?
yeah, well, I don't want to know.
Sleeping.
Like,
With his butcher knife. Yeah.
Did Roger ever go to the porn section in the middle of the night? Did the whole movie gallery?
Roger, if you're listening, I'm sorry. So we were doing inventory the one night, and I walked into the back on Roger and Brad, and Roger talking about how he likes redheads. My hair was dyed red at the time. It was not next day.
Yeah, that was the wrong time to walk.
That was the horrible time. My hair was not red the next day.
Why'd you change your hair? Oh, no reason.
No reason at all.
Nothing to do with anything at all. So where the fuck did Sigourney Weaver get a steamroller? I know it's not really a steamroller, but like that's just the easiest terminology to use. It's like a drum roller is a technical term, but everyone knows what I'm talking about if I say steamroller.
Well,
Yeah.
she's FBI. She can just tell anybody to do whatever she wants.
Yeah, just like, break down the roller, break down the drum roller. We've got VHS tapes to destroy. That doesn't make any sense. I feel like you could have probably, look at it, they're still filming. Like it's the premiere and they're still filming.
And
The
then-
construction crew is on site.
And there's the old guy telling the guy that he can't demolish the building because they're still inside and they have till midnight.
Oh, I've never drove a Superior loader before. I was trying to figure out what brand that was. I thought it was a Komatsu looking at the back end of it. I feel like Komatsu and Superior are the same brand of loader, except they have a different name. Kind of like Hitachi and John. Oh!
There goes the TV.
Well then.
Turns out his stool on a table was not sturdy.
We needed to get it higher. Would you trust these idiots with your giant projection camera?
It's an Epson too. That thing was expensive. I guarantee it.
Would I trust it? No, not at all. But, you know, the fact that he shows willing to help is, you know, again, it takes us back to the whole community thing.
It reminds me of the relationship, as Corey was talking about, between him and Roger back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
It really does. You know, he knows he's going out of business, right? He could be gloating right now. You know, your employees busted into my fucking store, busted up my glass, you know, yet here I am still celebrating you closing down.
Right?
And, you know, this isn't just a store to this guy. This is his fucking home.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
What's that
You
like?
guys know why all of a sudden I started swearing? Because I don't. Sometimes it just happens. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to start swearing all of a sudden.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
Fuck. I'm sorry, guys. I'll try to stop.
No, he won't. You have to see him on Wednesdays, then he's good.
Yes, I don't swear on Wednesdays.
Oh, I'll tell you after.
Yes, that's a discussion for after the podcast.
Yes.
I did.
What?
Swear on Wednesdays.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. Well, you're not a scout leader anymore, Corey. So
How many? Corey. You know what I mean?
It's Chelsea's fault.
Damn
We're gonna
Chelsea.
blame Chelsea.
Well, okay. Now you spit. And that was a coverie.
Yeah.
300.
We were
Chelsea.
representing ourselves.
We're at campfire, and Corey does that. Sure. Now you spit. Chelsea.
So this is when it starts getting you, right, Laura?
Yeah.
Oh,
this is pretty emotional. So.
Yeah. This is when it gets me because, like, you know, he's watching it. He's giving it the last hurrah. The developer comes in.
I talked about it on the other podcast. Like, the developer is not. They could have made him a slimy douchebag, and like they didn't. And I respect that choice.
So, and realistically with him too is he's another guy that just works for a corporation.
Well, I don't even know if he's working for. He's just like he's trying to make things a little better.
Yeah. And
You know, he's not causing a big fuss here.
no. I mean,
You know, he could be. He could be ecstatically mad. Hey, you could tell that he's understandably annoyed, but he's not cartoonishly annoyed.
no, because like you can tell like he's annoyed. They're supposed to be out of there, but he gives them 1 hour. Now, granted, this movie's probably been longer than their hour, but
Well, I don't
gives
know.
it could be one of their 20-minute fantasies. I don't know.
I would imagine they didn't make many hour-long plus movies.
Probably not, but you know they actually really tried with this one and didn't do it in half a day.
Didn't they say at one point they're only like 20 to 30 minute things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other ones were only about 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I think some of them they made full length.
Well, I think Ghostbusters, because like they had so many scenes in it.
Mm-hmm.
So
But when the gang shows up, they told them that, you know, it was only 20 minutes long, but I loved it.
yeah.
I don't know if this movie stays consistent with that kind of stuff. This whole moment is very sweet though. It builds and builds and builds towards it. Like it's got a very the storytelling to get to this point of this movie has been I don't want to say incredible, but really excellent, right? Because they started off with bits of this movie, and when they made this movie, he even says, "I want to start at the end."
Yes.
Right? And that's what they did with Be Kind, Rewind as well. They started at the end, and you don't really know what's happening. Like, Corey, you were talking about this, right? Remember when you were talking about on our deleted, on this place, when what was I saying again?
I
Started
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah, started at the end.
Oh yeah. I can't remember the full conversation, but yeah, it was. Oh God.
Yeah, I had a brain fart halfway through
Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah. What the heck?
But it's because this is an emotionally gripping part, right?
Mhm.
Like, the people out in the street. This is their final hurrah for this, right?
Yeah, and this is the part that always gets me is
The developer comes and shakes his hand, for Pete's sakes. Like, he knows he's tearing down this place. He knows he's fucking over Danny Glover. Like, he's tearing down his home and not giving him a penny.
If that guy was born there and the whole shebang, couldn't they have applied for
so if
what
it
are
is,
the
But they
landmarks?
said he wasn't. He wasn't actually born
Oh,
there.
okay.
so if it turned out that he was actually born in that building, like the sign said, they could have made it a historic site.
Yeah.
But he lied about that.
Yes.
And he said he lied about that. But then they still made the movie about him being born there,
Yeah.
which I think works for this movie.
Unrelated. Melanie Diaz is cute.
Which one was Melanie Diaz?
The girl, the
The
main
girl
girl.
that was
The
helping
main
out.
girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just cute. Not whatever, but just cute.
I would have said adorable.
Yeah, we can go with adorable.
So I got to ask you guys, where does Be Kind Rewind land in the video store? Corey, I'll start with you because I know Laura needs to mull over this topic. You can see she's thinking about it already.
I am actually.
And technically, Corey's already gave me an answer on this.
Mhm.
It's lost. He has to give me a new one.
He probably has forgotten what his answer
No,
was.
I remember it. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is a drama, 100%.
Even-
There's not enough funny in it to be even remotely considered a comedy, in my opinion. Honestly, this movie could have been, I wouldn't say 10 times, that's an exaggeration, but better without Jack Black. But the heart of the movie is what is the movie, and it is a drama.
I would disagree that removing Jack Black would make this movie better. I think a lot of what Jack Black brought was essential to this movie, but that's just me.
And for me, I don't know. I'm in the same boat as Corey. I could have watched this movie without Jack Black. This movie it's just Jack Black being Jack Black is all it is. But like Corey said too, the heart of the movie, the premises of the movie, it is a drama.
Yeah. Oh, look, did you guys know that? Mike and Jerry's Sweden movies can be seen on BeKindRewind.com. That we will have to, we are going to be watching some Sweden movies. I found a lot of comedy in this movie, but I have a hard time disagreeing with you guys that I think this is a drama as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And some of the comedy was pretty over the top comedy. Like, the whole premise of a magnetized guy deleting all these VHS tapes.
Yeah.
That's kind of a funny concept, right?
Well, and even the scene itself was pretty slapstick, right?
Mhm.
So just so you know, you cannot watch movies on BeKindRewind.com.
It's no longer there.
It is no longer there, and I'm not buying into it for $13,000.
That's unfortunate.
Why not?
There was a hyphen in there, I do believe, though. We could rewind and get the actual website. So, Corey, final thoughts on Be Kind Rewind?
Well, it's not the quintessential video store movie for me. It's definitely it hits all the feels, like Laura said too. It was really well done, except for, again, I could have done without Jack Black. I said that. That's fine. But it's, like I said before, and it's actually kind of ironic that I'd said before when we watched this, I said it's not something I'd ever watch again, but I'm glad I watched, and here I am watching it again. So.
Well, yeah. I do feel I do feel this second watch though. Don't you feel like this was another watch?
Yeah, well, I guess in all fairness, I didn't watch it that night when we did it. We didn't watch it. So.
That's true.
Yeah, so there you go. I've seen this movie 3 times.
Me too. Go figure.
I'll jump over to my final thoughts.
I guess.
See, when I was all like, well, we're going to change things up, and I'm going to go first, and you guys are like, well, you've gone first like 5 times. I don't think I've ever gone second.
No, he has never gone second, actually.
If I have, I can't think of a time where I have.
Oh, congratulations.
So,
I'm glad to be part of this monumentous occasion.
mark it on the calendars. I've gone second. Because either I go first or I go last, generally.
If you ain't first, you're last. So.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't give a ranking. Would you like to give a ranking?
Oh, sure. I'm going to change up what I gave on our.
I'm going to change mine too. So.
Whatever, but it's a solid 3 out of 5. I mean, I think I only gave it a 2.75 the last time.
You gave it a 1.75.
Was it? Okay, but
which I felt like was a disservice.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3. Again, it doesn't have the rewatchability, but I'll give it a 3.
I think this is there's a little bit of discrepancy on tone at times in this movie. Like, I know I expressed how I didn't like the scene where he's at the power plant and gets electrocuted and he gets thrown in the air. I thought that was kind of stupid and cheesy, right? And it didn't necessarily flow with the rest of the movie. And then there was like the pee magnetism stuff, which I thought was funny, but was also kind of out of place in the movie.
I mean, that's how you get rid of all your ailments, is just pee it out.
Yeah, I wish that's how it worked. And despite finding that scene funny, it felt out of place. Laura is Googling furiously away while I'm talking. I'm so glad they've got an animated audience.
Not unless we want to learn about top 5 secrets of casinos.
Well, that's terrible. I think this movie's got a lot of heart, and is this an underdog story? I love a good underdog story.
It would be an underdog story if they didn't lose in the end.
Underdogs lose.
I guess Rocky lost. So
Rocky lost. The Bad News Bears lost.
Yeah, but that movie was funny.
The Mighty Ducks probably should have lost. But everyone loves a good underdog story, right? And the underdogs, if you're an underdog, do you need to live? Or to win? I should say not live. Hopefully they fucking lived.
Kind of funny story real quick, interrupt thinking of that, is you saw my post there, I totally considered the Tyson fight to be Rocky 6 all over again.
I didn't watch it. Rocky 6 or the Tyson fight.
Anyways.
You weren't missing much either way.
No. Actually, I like Rocky 6, but that's not the point.
So, I'm going to give this movie I think I gave it a Temple of Doom.
You did give it a Temple of Doom.
And I think I'm going to give it a Temple of Doom and half a Raiders now. I'm going to up it just the teeniest a bit. Because, this movie does have a lot of heart. Heart goes a long way for me. And I liked a little bit of unconventional storytelling and characters. Not that it's a drastically unconventional, it's heroes are presented with a problem that they must try to conquer, right? That's pretty generic, but they stayed away from a lot of stereotypes in this movie, and I appreciate something that can stay away from those, right? So I'm going to give it a Temple of Doom and half a Raiders of the Lost Ark. Thought about upgrading it all the way to a Raiders, but I guess can't quite upgrade it all the way to a Raiders.
I can respect that rating, though. Laura doesn't understand the rating.
I don't understand the rating, but from the sounds of it, it's high praise.
If you guys ever watch the TikToks, you guys would find it. Though somehow or another, they got all conglomerated together. I did them so that they're all separate videos, and then they all got sandwiched together. So the video doesn't really make any sense the way it got sandwiched together, but that's okay.
So I'm never meant to understand the ratings.
Well, you could
Ever.
still watch it and it would still make sense, right?
No, because then once I figure it out, then you change it.
That's not really how it works.
It seems to be. Woo.
I have an explanation. Sweden movies right there.
It's not from this movie. There's literally a festival dedicated to people who have done this.
That
That's
doesn't
awesome.
surprise me.
That's slightly awesome, actually. So,
Yes.
although it looks like you can YouTube. Oh no, it's just bits from the movie. Never mind. Anyway,
So,
sorry.
Laura, final thoughts.
So, like I told Corey when I texted him, this movie, as much as I don't like Jack Black, actually holds a soft spot for me.
Yeah.
And that's primarily because, I've been involved in closing down 2 video stores. I helped close down movie galleries.
I'm just saying, if there's a common factor here, maybe you should not work tomorrow night.
Yeah. You're not allowed to work in Florida.
I also helped launch the video store. It was under Roger and I his name, but I worked the first day. And so I didn't work the last day at the video store, but I did work the second last day.
I came in on the last day.
I promptly stayed away because that was.
Oh, don't worry, Dave and I almost cried too, so.
Oh, there was no almost. I did cry.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can't remember if it was the second last or the last day I was there, but I definitely
Was Laura
went.
there?
Huh?
Was Laura there?
You know what? No, I remember talking to Roger. The last time I went there, I went the second last day and the last day. I wanted to say goodbye to Laura there one last time.
Yeah, so I think you actually came in before I started work.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it was that day. But yeah, no, it's a soft spot because like you go through the whole thing and you know he's trying to change how he's doing everything, bring in business, but you don't really pay attention to the fact that he's being forced to close. And then you get to the end of the movie and he's lost everything. He's lost her. He gave it one last hurrah, but he's lost it all. And
He literally has. He's lost all of these movies that he developed, and he's lost his home, and he's lost his store.
Yep. So it's like that's where it hits. It hits for me because you go through all it. You have the passion for the movies. You know them all. You love helping the customers, and it's like, what the hell did we do it all for? Because it's all gone, and I felt that way for a while. Where did we go wrong? What happened? And realistically, it wasn't even us. It was distributors and everything else. It was not us.
No.
What happened with distributors?
They were moving down to the States, which was making it harder to get anything, and just became a real pain in the ass. Now, we started going down too during COVID, and we tried. We did everything we could, and we survived longer than a lot of stores did.
I've got this distinct memory in my brain forever from COVID. I was driving downtown. I can't remember which store it was 100%. I want to say it was Paint Pottery. And all I seen on the side of the door was, goodbye for now and thank you for everything.
Yep.
And it was just kind of like, wow. Like,
there was.
You remember the note I left?
no.
I left a big heartfelt note on the door on my last day.
A lot of people were doing that, and
At Blockbuster you're talking?
Yeah.
Mm.
a lot of people were doing that. They're leaving big heartfelt notes, and we were bad. You know what? We operated during COVID. We weren't supposed to, but we did.
I remember that.
But you guys had like the drive-in rentals.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Hand it through the slot and
Oh God, no! I had opened. How you doing? But, we would do all of that because we knew that our customers needed us, and though the government decided that we weren't essential, we were.
Yeah, who decided Walmart was essential? Right?
And then there was Walmarts in the States where they like fabriced off the clothing because it wasn't essential, but they kept they literally tarped over the store, parts of the store.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so going through all this and watching this movie, it brings it back because you think about it and you're going, well, shit. You know what? We tried, and we almost made it, but Rating wise, I can't give it more than a 4 out of 10, and it's primarily because of Jack Black. And if he wasn't in it, it would get a higher one.
But I don't understand who would replace him. I really don't. Like, I don't think who else you could have play that character. And it still be as entertaining.
Brad Pitt.
No.
I'm kidding. Literally spitballed a name.
So, like, and you have it, you're right there. It's nobody else probably could play that role, but a lot of it is my dislike for him.
Mm-hmm.
So
I forgot to talk about how funny it was that he played King Kong after he was already in King Kong. I love that.
Right? Yeah, that part was pretty good.
Oh. So now that you guys have tried not to shed your tears,
I cried on Monday. I'm doing good.
why'd you cry on Monday?
Watching that last part, it actually brought tears to my eyes. I'm like, damn it!
Oh, she is human.
Is she though?
I have a heart. It's only 90% made of stone.
I feel like before we end the podcast, we just need it to be a heartfelt reminder of days past.
Well, as you know, I am disgustingly nostalgic. So
Yes, you're right. Disgustingly so.
It,
Your TikTok handles that Blockbuster guy.
yeah.
Sorry, Laura, didn't mean to cut you off.
I agree with you that it needs to be a heartfelt and all of that too, but I think anybody listening needs to realize too that the mom and pop stores they need the community.
They do.
Hint, hint, people.
Yes, Corey, I'm including you
Have
in
you?
this.
I know this story. It's kind of taking you off your train too, but have I ever told you guys like what happened with Blockbuster?
No.
So what's it called? Canada was disgustingly profitable at the time.
Really?
We had $120 million net worth, and the states were bleeding because they had the Netflix, the Mayo Netflix, and they had the satellites, and they had all those things. And so the states could not pay a bill to save their life. So they got taken for it. And so they're like, you need collateral to show you're going to pay these loans. So they put up Canada as collateral. And it didn't work. They still didn't pay their bills. So they sold Canada and still ended up closing. But then Canada was in limbo, still technically under Blockbuster Canada. But they needed an owner. So we went into Chapter 11. And they were just, all they had to do was find a buyer. And Grant Thornton was our receivers. And all they had to do was find a buyer. Supposedly, there were buyers. But Grant Thornton decided because of the business model that they're not going to entertain any offers, and they closed us.
I've listened to a few different interviews with people that said the problem in the States was the big market crash. Is why they were hemorrhaging so bad.
It could have been. 2008 was a bad year.
Yeah.
Like especially in the States, but it was a bad year.
Yeah, Canada weathered okay, but like in the States,
yeah,
it was like the second greatest
it was
economic
the
failure
worst
of all time.
Yeah, the worst crash since the 30s.
Yeah.
So.
And even for maybe other, like I say, what crashed them was their stupid monthly plans that they brought in. But realistically, same thing. Movie Gallery Canada, we were making money. States, we were not. Now the difference between Blockbuster and Movie Gallery is Movie Gallery never actually listed the States and Canada as separate entities. We were all just Movie Gallery.
I'm surprised they were allowed to operate like that because I know you're not really allowed to have like an American company, which is why that's why like McDonald's Canada is a separate company from McDonald's. Walmart Canada is a separate company. So a lot of times they don't allow businesses to do that. So it seems strange.
It is strange. I mean, if you look at any legal documents, it says Movie Gallery Canada. But it's the parent company itself was in the States.
Well, that makes sense.
So, but when that went under, it all went under. They can even use the Canada stores as leverage.
I feel like, just remembering the time, Blockbuster had the better business model at the time than Movie Gallery had, because I don't think Movie Gallery had really moved with the times with the way Blockbuster marketed selling stuff. Like Blockbuster was still open during the huge DVD boom, right? Do you guys remember like
Movie Gallery was too.
but Movie Gallery just kind of they almost missed out on the TV series DVD boom. Like I don't ever remember a lot of TV shows, but like Blockbuster had like they had like rows and rows of it, right? Like you guys had your TV, but like you missed the boom of it.
Yeah, so and the issue with Movie Gallery too, like when we actually started getting in the movies and everything, or the TV series, they were all just thrown in with general.
Yeah,
So we didn't have a section dedicated to that I remember.
I would walk into Blockbuster like looking for Lost, looking for Dexter, right? That was like what I seeked out. Alias, like not that I ever did finish watching Alias. To be
And we have
honest.
the whole set here.
I mean,
I saw that.
now granted, I could tell you where everything was. I walk into what is now, what is it? That sports bar.
Tap house.
Yeah. I walk into the tap house and I can tell you exactly where everything was still.
It's still weird to me going in there.
Right. Well, like I walk in there too, and I pointed this out to Alan and Victor. We went in, and I'm like, "This is weird." And I got what? So I'm explaining things. I'm like, and where their kitchen is where the office and the shitter was, and the porn room.
See, and I guarantee you're exactly the same as me. I have a photographic memory for our stock. I know you definitely, like you had said, you had like over 10,000 titles there. You could list all of them.
Every single one.
I have right now approximately 1,600 movies in this store.
1,600?
Yeah. And
Really?
I could, if somebody comes in and is like, hey, do you have this? I know for a fact I can give you that answer without even blinking.
Yeah. Because you train, working in a store like that, you train your brain to be the computer. It tells everything for you. So somebody comes in, do you have this? No, it's rented out. It's due back this day. Do you have this? No, not yet. It's coming in this date.
You have Alien Apocalypse starring Bruce Campbell.
We used to, yes.
Well, I wasn't asking
Whether
you.
Corey has it or not.
You have Dingo Boy number.
Issue 23.
Yeah. Oh, that's a throw for
Yeah, that's
nobody but us to figure out. So.
well, hey, you know what? I know Mike likes to listen, so he gets that.
Very
right.
cool.
And
That's for you, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, you get it. Maybe Danielle's listening, perhaps,
Maybe.
and she'd get it. So, but I feel like it's time for the tiers to be all cleaned up, guys. Corey,
Take the knife out of my chest.
well, Laura, me and Corey had a heartfelt moment when we did this last time
Oh,
about how we all want to support him.
oh, very much so.
You had said in the Lost episode, we're going to call it the Lost episode now. Even though
I
it's the
like
same-
that actually.
Yeah, the Lost
I like
episode.
that a lot.
About how Laura's been here, Roger's been here, Dave's been here, all to support you.
Yeah, it's like if it wasn't for the fact that I was so preoccupied, I probably would have had tears in my eyes because just to see those guys again, like again, I see you guys. I've seen you guys multiple times a week for the last like almost 20 years, and I would not change that for the world. But so like when you guys come in, no offense, but it wasn't as impactful. But like I said, when Dave came in, because of course we almost shared a cry on the last day there, and then when Roger came in, it was unfortunate Diana wasn't with him, but still,
Working, though.
yeah, I talked to both of them about a month or so ago anyway, so probably 2 months now, and just everybody who's I've had messages from people that I haven't talked to in years send me a message on Facebook. It's like, I heard what you're doing. Congrats. Best of luck to you. You know, things like that. And the thing is, like, you know, take someone like Josh, who he's been doing this for a few years now. I think he's been doing it for 3 years, and it's it's probably worn off on him. He's probably, oh, it's just another thing. But for me, I've been around for 8 days, 9 days, and it's still like the first day every time.
Josh doesn't have the community connection that you do to this place, though. Like, Josh came into Toefield, and he was an outsider coming into there, right? Like, I don't know if he's, we're going to have to invite him on the podcast one of these days, I do believe, but he's got some stories to tell. They're not mine to tell here on air, but it was an interesting journey to get to where he was. He started out in BC, went to Saskatchewan, and ended up in Toefield. Like, it's a wild ride that he took to get there.
And like Jeff said too, like because of Blockbuster, because of the theater, because of Sport Check, you are a face in the community. It might not be in the sense of like Carmen or any of those guys, but we're the ones that everybody remembers could help them find the movie they were looking for. And they have that again because of you. It's not rentals, but they have it again because of you.
Mm-hmm. I've seen a couple. I only have, I think, 3 with comments, 5 altogether, ratings on Google, and there was one of them, I think it was pretty nice actually. And then Amy left one, which was awesome. Friend of mine that's I see at karaoke on Wednesdays left one. Steven left a comical one. It was actually kind of funny. He's like, if ever this is a store, this would be one.
You know, it's nice to see comments from your friends and everything like that, but you know, when it's a stranger that leaves it,
it's that much better.
Yeah. So I have 5 total star ratings on Google, and they're all 5 stars. So
Yeah.
Don't hang your hat on star ratings too much, because the internet fucking sucks.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
We had our fair share of complaints. Every store is going to have their fair share of complaints.
It was Mike's fault.
Sure. but you know,
Not our Mike.
Not our Mike.
Yeah.
The other Mike.
It is for Mike.
Right, but it's one of those scenarios. You can't please everybody.
Yeah.
No matter how much you want to, you're going to have those people that come in that are going to pull you down and make you feel like crap. But 5 minutes later, you're going to have another customer come in, and they're the ones that are going to make your day.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other day, I can't remember how many days in. It was probably only like 3 or 4. I woke up really depressed. I woke up and I'm like, you know, I have anxiety, so this is what it is. And I woke up, I'm like, was this actually a good idea? Am I ruining my life? I'm not going to succeed? And I get to work and I'm like, nobody's going to come in today. It's going to be terrible. So I was just like down and down and down. And of course we do open and nobody walks in right away, which is whatever. That's just a day. But I'm taking it personally. And I had then somebody come in and we had a fantastic interaction. And it just turned my day around. And that's all it took. So,
Corey, you know, I'm not always a person who practices what he preaches, but on the point of anxiety about this, you cannot fail at this task because you've already succeeded. Now, this store could go up in flames. You could lose every last thing. You could go bankrupt, okay? But you have created something that is in the community. And the success of that store does not mean ruin of the man, Corey Menzel. Success of the store is just a success of the store. Now, was the video store, was that a failure because it closed down? Or was that a success? Because it spent 12 years open. You know, one day, this store will close down. It's probably not going to be anytime soon. For all we know, it's in 6 months from now. For all we know, it's 60 years from now. But one day, this store will close down. That's not a failure. it's a success because it opened.
Yep. And it's a success because it opened and you put your heart into it. It's yours. You made it yours.
And I mean, a part of me thinking how essentially I didn't open my own store, I opened just another database. I think that one I'm kind of down, but I know how much, like you said, blood, sweat, and tears, how much fucking money I've put into the store. And I obviously I wanted to succeed. Like I said, I don't know if I ever mentioned on air about how I'd have those blockbuster dreams where I would be in the dream and all of a sudden I kind of like, turn on that I'm in the dream type thing. And I'd be like, oh my God, we're opening again. This is amazing. And just a feeling of happiness I've never felt in a long time. And life is good. And then all of a sudden I realize it's a dream. And I wake up and I'm almost in tears. So like it just shows like this was a calling of mine. And I think, Jeff, you're the one who kind of woke up that dormant beast in me that really wanted to do this and was just too scared. And so they kept it hidden. And so when you said it, I could have easily brushed it off or laughed it off. And I think in any other case I might have, but I think you caught me at that time where I'm like, this is it. This is what I need. I need to branch out and be me finally and not somebody else's.
And that makes sense.
1,000 apologies, Lisa.
but
Like she listens.
That 100% makes sense because everything you've done, right, especially since Blockbuster closed, everything you've done, you worked at the theater, you wrote up movie reviews for the paper, and then all of a sudden you stopped.
Oh, that's because the paper closed.
Well,
that wasn't my choice.
but we had the printouts and everything at the store.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, we had a partnership there.
Right,
so,
but
yeah.
then they just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't 100% sure what was going on. Nobody said anything to me about it, so I really had no fucking clue what was going on. But it just stopped. And I watched your mood decline after that.
It was right around that time that I had that crash. And like I said, I enjoy writing, but I'm also really good at not having motivation. So put the two together.
It's a bad thing. So just, you have a store now, you're not allowed to not have motivation, just like.
Mm-hmm. I have motivation for the store, but unfortunately, I think as of right now, the rest of my life is on the back burner, which is not necessarily a good thing. But I think, I in my head, I'm like, okay, this is just growing pains for the first little bit. I'll be fine in a bit. So.
And that's part of it. And you can't really say that the rest of your life is on a back burner. I mean, you're calling in help where you need help. I mean, you are still going away, like going for your wife's Christmas party. You're doing all of that, and you're willing to take everybody's thoughts into consideration, whether you use it or not. The thoughts and advice, you're willing to take it in.
Except for Jeff's. He had his limit with getting me to open the store.
Yeah.
I don't listen to a single word he says anymore.
Yeah. No more advice.
You're tapped out, Jeff. Damn it.
No. It's just all offensive.
Has to get in 12 years.
Yeah.
I never said it was good advice, just that you're tapped out.
It's going to be tricky for you to find that balance, right, Corey?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be a hard thing.
Because like the biggest thing to remember too is, yes, your livelihood depends on the store.
A little bit.
But just a little bit.
Yeah.
But don't let the store run your whole life. Don't be
like it has
afraid.
been.
Like it has been. Don't. Right now it's supposed to, but later on, don't let it do it. I mean, if it's really slow, or you don't have anybody to run it, and you want to go away for a few days, post a sign on the door and say, "I'm gone. We're reopening this date."
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like you could, if you need that, I feel like you can talk to Josh about that.
Yeah.
Like,
Probably.
You guys have a partnership, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and then you could offer reciprocate the favor back, right? So,
And
if he wants, Stephen and Andrew want to help him you know, maybe he could send one of his kids down here to help you, you know, back and forth like that.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, Andrew's an adult too, so you can go on holidays and leave him here and just be like, you're taking holidays from work to run the store.
That seems unlikely, but
I'm just saying.
Don't let him in here with anybody that's magnetized. I'm just telling you that. No magnetized people allowed. Keep Jerry out.
damn it, Jerry.
But we're gonna end this tearjerker, you guys.
Yeah. All good things must come to an end.
Don't say that.
I wanted to start something, and this can be our first tradition. So what we're gonna do here, guys, is I want does the database recommend? All of us, without looking at each other, we're gonna give a thumbs up and a thumbs down, okay? If there's more thumbs up than there is thumbs down, the database recommends. More thumbs down than there are ups, the database does not recommend.
Is it a movie or a game?
This movie. So, Be Kind, Rewind. The database, give me your thumbs, everybody. Is it a thumbs up? Oh, we got 3 thumbs up. So the database does recommend Be Kind, Rewind.
Yeah, stop by, and we're going to be posting our weekly movies in the store for people. We're going to start letting people know at the database that Real Life Opinions is very much real, and that, you know, maybe we'll gain a new level of popularity. Maybe we won't.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Come down and see me tomorrow. Let's make Corey some money.
Okay.
All
Good
right.
night, people.
Have a good night.
Is that it?